Good afternoon to all the good viewers of this program who watch this program in the English language. We are going to start with today's program. Unfortunately, we've had some problems with Word Perfect. For some reason, the material we have today is too much for it to handle. So it's been crashing for the last 3 days or so. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to find the different things that I need to share with you guys and then have it.
Let me start by welcoming.
So let me start by finding them one by one and see if I can share them with you. The first one is going to be about the illegal aliens who've been coming into the United States. Unfortunately, it's not just United States. This is something that's been going on everywhere. Europe has it, Iran has it, United States has it. It's the globalist
muy
agenda.
difícil este tiempo.
So the globalist agenda, unfortunately, is what it is. And we need to stop that globalist agenda if we want to make sure that our countries stay in one piece. Best way to do it is by waking people up. So allow me to share with you the first one. By the way, please share this program with everybody that you can as fast as you can, because I have a feeling this program will be erased very, very soon by YouTube because of what we're talking about. So it's important we get it to the eyes and ears of as many people as we possibly can, as fast as we can. This program was more than 2 hours and 50 minutes in Persian. It's going to be relatively faster than that in English. The reasoning is because I don't have to stop every 2 seconds and translate the English to Persian for you, the English viewers. But it's important that you share this as fast as you can before it gets erased. All right, let's look at the first one. White liberals, meaning Democrats. Black migrants, meaning illegal aliens who sneak across the border. Not migrants who spend $30,000 to do the process the legal way, the right way, the lawful way to come into this country. Like I did when I came to this country. Okay? Migrant family to her home. Now she has a personal chef. Does she? Does she really? Let's look at that together.
Muy difícil este tiempo.
As any mother would. Now things are looking much brighter as they've been welcomed into Lisa Hillenbrand's Brookline apartment.
Tu niña es muy alegre ahora.
Sí, cuando se levanta en la mañana, se dice, ay, Lisa.
She says her daughter is very happy.
Yeah.
When she wakes up in the morning, she says, hi, Lisa, and everyone starts the day smiling.
It's a delight. And it's really fun having them. What I realized is there's so much prejudice against refugees, mostly because people don't know.
It's truly a delight. I mean, it's really good having them. She talks like as if she has cats and dogs in her home, you know, like she grew up her whole life with Chihuahuas, and now all of a sudden she went from Chihuahuas to German Shepherds. It's really fun. It's a delight having that dog. I mean, you got a German Shepherd now. You can jump around and run around and take it outside, and you know, you can play fetch, and you don't have to worry that the leg is gonna break. It's really fun having them. And what do they say? Hi, Lisa. Every day in the morning, she cooks the breakfast. I mean, they're just sitting in her house. Free roof over their head, free clothing, free food, free Wi-Fi, free TV. I mean, come on, who doesn't want that? Lisa?
Them.
Lisa says she feels like she has her own personal chef, as Wildande loves cooking.
¿Te gusta la ocupación?
Sí.
In fact,
I bet she loves cooking. I mean, look at that stomach. Look at that stomach. Isn't that the most beautiful stomach you've ever seen? I mean, every time they show her, she's eating. Look at that. She's got a personal chef. No. She's cooking your food to eat. And you are eating with them, Lisa. They got 3 stomachs to feed, according to what we know. They got the daughter, they got the husband, they got the wife with the big stomach. I mean, look at that sexy stomach. I mean, look at that stomach. I mean, look at that stomach. What can you say about that stomach? I mean, come on, look at that. I mean, come on. Lisa only has 1 stomach, and she has a small stomach. Did you see how skinny Lisa was? You think she was malnourished from a third world country. And look at how much these guys are eating, man. I mean, they got the tub of lard stored for hibernation for the next decade. But she's got a personal chef. Yeah, sure.
her goal is to open up her own restaurant.
Quiero tener mi propio restaurante.
The couple has their work
Restaurante. With whose money are you opening this restaurante? Who's doing the financing for the bank for the restaurante? Of course, we know who's going to do that. Lisa is going to do that. So Lisa is going to take out a loan. She's going to finance your business for you so you can open a restaurante. And when that restaurant crashes because there's nobody coming to eat, guess who has to pay all the bills and all the problems that come with it? Lisa has to pay it.
permits, and they've been taking English classes.
Yo cualquier trabajo va a hacer para guardar mi dinero para hacer mi futuro.
They're open to work anywhere.
The trabajo, isn't trabajo a lawyer? I mean, my Spanish is not up to date, but I thought trabajo, could be wrong. I think that's a lawyer. So they're not even translating what they're saying properly. They're going to the lawyer. You know, they've got books for learning English. They got toys for the kids. They got money. They just came over the border. Who's paying for all of this? Lisa. And now Biden has given them exploratory working visas so they can work. I mean, come on. Let's look at it truly, audience. Who works? You work because you want to pay your rent or your mortgage. You can have a roof over your head. You work so you can pay your car notes, so you can drive to work and drive back and buy your groceries. You work so you can feed yourself, and you work so you can clothe yourself. You work so you can heal yourself. You work so you can be up to date in the news and get Wi-Fi and be able to see on your phone and use your phone. You work so you can pay your bills. Why would these guys go to work? I mean, the house, it's free. Internet, free. Phone, free. Clothing, free. Toys, free. Books, free. Television, free. Cable, free. You know, if they want to go somewhere, Lisa is the chauffeur. She will drive them. What bills do they have to pay?
Where to save money for their future. In the meantime, they're enjoying their time with Lisa, their new friend for life, and their daughter's new grandmother.
Oh yeah, Lisa's their daughter's grandmother. So what do you think will happen when Lisa dies? The house will go to these guys. They're living in there. You can't kick them out. They're residents. After several years, they're part of the family. I mean, my daughter calls you grandma. What do you think? She has to give them everything.
Abuela, mi niña.
They are hardworking. They
That's the niña.
want to learn. They want to be successful. And I feel great helping, and I get to understand the refugee crisis from the inside.
Lisa says she's so impressed by the number of people she's met right here at Brookline Town Hall meetings who've been stepping up and hosting families. She's hopeful more will do the same in the coming days and weeks. In Brookline, Aaron Lowe.
You know why they gotta do that? You know why they gotta this is called an advertisement. The news agency is advertising for them. You know why? Because Klaus Schwab said by 2030, you'll be living in matchboxes, which means all these people that are coming here, you got to open your door. They got to come inside your house. If they feel like they want to rape you, they can rape you. If they feel like they want to kill you, they can kill you. I mean, who are you to stand up and say anything otherwise? They got rights over you. At the end of the day, they're illegal aliens. You're not an illegal alien. Know your role, as The Rock would say. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Unfortunately, if our WordPerfect would have responded properly, we could have saved some more time. But some of them are all over the place where I saved them. So now we have to go all over the place to find them and show them to you.
Let me stop.
Here we go. Second video. We go to Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe, Crooked Joe, whatever kind of Joe. Alzheimer's Joe, you name the Joe, we got the Joe for you. Yeah, the Joes are all around. And I don't think I shared the link yet. So let me see if I can somehow share the link of this program as well, because it's going to be important if the people on Telegram can get a hold of it. So let me, and if I can also view it myself with you, so that if there's any problems, I can solve that. Because we know that YouTube loves to play games with us, loves to suppress our program. And also, hello and good afternoon to all the people that will be writing in the chat while we're talking live. Let's go back to our video and continue where we left off, ladies and gentlemen, because, you know, we need to continue. Here we have a video from Joe Biden. Joe Biden is being visited by King Abdullah of Jordan. And he wants to introduce King Abdullah of Jordan to the people of the United States, especially the news agencies. You got to know. When you're going to write about it, you got to know who you're talking to. Let's see what he says. Remember, this is the president of the United States of America speaking.
Let me start by welcoming His Majesty, the King of Jordan. He's been a good friend. Abdul, welcome back to the White House, man.
Adul. You don't want to know what that means in Persian. But of course, in Arabic, it means something else. And fortunately for Joe Biden, this guy is not the Persian. So he went over his head. Or else Joe Biden might end up like some of the losers from the Octagon. But you can see King of Jordan is looking at him like, what kind of mistake did I make coming to United States at this time? I should have waited another year and then I should have come. Look at that face. Look at that face. But Joe Biden is not done. Joe Biden stuck out his hand like he's going to go shake hands. Then he realized, no, now is not the right time. And Abdul is too far away anyway. So let's see what he does next.
Welcome back. And by the way, Barack's looking at you in the corner over there.
Yeah, Barack. You know, Barack, Hussein, Obama is over there. You know, Barack Obama is over there. You know, he's just over there. And you guys know where the name Barack comes from, right? Barack comes from Barakat. Barakat is the giving that God gives to you. Okay? So Barakat al-Hussein al-Obama is over there. I mean, why is he over there? What is he doing? Is he picking his nose? Is he scratching his butt? Is he part of the news agency? Is he eating his ramen noodle soup? What is Barack Hussein Obama doing over there? Huh? Is he the leader that Abdul al-Husseini from Jordan is supposed to meet with? King Hussein over here? Is he going to meet with him over there? Like, what is exactly going on, Biden? Are you sure that's Obama over there? I mean, it could be any random black person, and you're just going to call him Obama, aren't you? Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Along with Queen Rihanna, who is made.
Along with Queen Rihanna. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, King Abdullah al-Husseini, his wife, his name is not Rihanna. But I'll show you who Rihanna is.
You with Jill now, and the Queen.
Oh,
and the
she's
Crown
with Jill
Prince
now, eh?
Hussein. Where is the Prince out there?
Is the prince here? Where's the prince?
And-
Where's the prince?
Your Majesty, over to you.
Over to you, Your Majesty. He doesn't know if he's going to shake hands or not shake hands. Neither one of them knows. Now, look. Underneath where they were standing, they have their names on the ground with a sticker, you know. So you just look and you find your name and you stand over your name. So he went to the right place, the right time, the first time. Now look, King Abdul over here is looking at the paperwork that this gentleman over here is giving him. I think that's Obama, because, you know, he came from the direction that Joe Biden was pointing to. So Obama, according to Joe Biden, is giving the paperwork to Abdullah, King of Jordan. And in the background, Biden does not want to stand where he's supposed to stand, as it's been rehearsed before, so that during King Abdullah's speech, if he needs to turn towards Biden, he knows where to turn. And look what Biden does. Biden moves and goes and stands where King Abdullah al-Husseini is supposed to stand. So now Biden is playing the role of King Abdullah al-Husseini. And we have another King Abdullah al-Husseini right in the middle.
Mr. President.
Poor Abdullah al-Husseini wanted to address Biden. He looked, he's not there. He looks to the other side. Oh, Biden is there. But now Biden's running to the other side, like they're playing hide and seek. This became the laughter of the whole Middle East, except for Iran. All the Arab nations were laughing because literally Biden is making the king look like a joke, walking around from side to side.
Mr. President.
And of course, it's time to walk away. He needs the king to go first so he knows which way to go. Yeah, you guys saw it for yourself. Total disaster. Disaster. And of course, I bet you guys want to know who is Queen Rihanna. Queen Rihanna. We have a Rihanna for you. We have the Rihanna that Biden was thinking of. And now we're going to show you Rihanna the Rihanna that Biden was thinking of. Ladies and gentlemen, soon you'll have screen sharing on your screens, and you will see the most beautiful Rihanna in the world, the Rihanna of Joe Biden's dreams. Here she is, but from many years ago, when she was very, very good looking. And there you have it, Rihanna, a girl like me. The next one is from USA Today. There's a link. Police identify Janice Moreno as the shooter at Joel Osteen Lakewood Church. You all heard about it. The woman who first they said is a transgender, and they said no, she's a woman. And then they found out that she brought her 7-year-old child to use as a shield, while she wanted to shoot with a rifle, not a rifle, but more like a machine gun, AR. There was an AR gun that she brought. Unfortunately for her, she got killed by some off-duty policemen who came in for service. But why they thought she was a transgender? Because at one point in time, she tried to turn into a man. She started going by the name Jeffrey. But don't worry. She put that behind her. This woman who came from El Salvador into United States sneaked across the border about 19 years ago or so. She left wanting to do the sex change and all that behind her. She got cured. She became a Shia Muslim. That's why the news media has dropped. They don't want to talk about it anymore. She's a Shia Muslim. That's terrible news for them. She ain't white. If she was white, different story. And what happened? She's been arrested in 2005. And ever since, she's been arrested. Joel Osteen's church holds 16,800 people at one time. It's like a small stadium turned into a church. Though it's not the same type of church that we have, still, it's a church that was attacked in the name of Islam. You don't believe me? Go look at her DMs and all of her social medias, from Telegram to Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else. She followed all the terrorist organizations. Hamas, Hezbollah of Lebanon, Islamic Jihad, Hashdul Shabi and Majdul Shabi, and everywhere in between. You name it, her following page that she follows was full of these. She even commented them, brothers, while you guys are talking, I'm planning. She planned all right. These are her pictures. There you have it in 2005 in the white clothing, arrested. There you have her in 2009 in the black. There you have her in 2010. And again in 2010. And then she went into hiatus. Because she became into this mindset of becoming a man. But then Donald Trump came. And during the Trump era, she decided, oh, now is not the good time. We can't become a man right now because Donald Trump is there. But don't worry, in 2022, during the Biden era, she got arrested again. This is when she was trying to become Jeffrey's the man. That's why you see she's got such a drastic change. But shortly after that, she saw the light. She became a Shia Muslim, and that's her picture as a Shia Muslim. She tried to make herself back into a woman, but the terrorist mindset had sunk in. And now she wanted to free Palestine by attacking Joel Osteen, because we all know how Israeli Joel Osteen is. I mean, the guy can barely tell you what's in the Bible. All he talks about are the same motivational hooray, hurrah, hooray, hurrah talks that you hear from any motivational speaker. I mean, the guy barely does anything about the religion. He never tells you to worry about hell. He never tells you you have to do good. He tells you that God owes you. Oh, yes, he's got a lot in common with the Israelis, apparently. Because, you know, in the minds of the Muslims, everybody is financed by the Israelis. You know, you got to take out everybody. But don't worry, now we don't have to worry about her because now she's under the grave. One more terrorist taken out of this world. And then we have Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson. Listen, you guys, the MAGA people, listen to me. Make America great again. Listen to me. A couple weeks ago, remember I told you about stupid Americans? You remember that? We had the discussion about stupid Americans. Stupid Americans, like the Russians like to say. Stupid Americans. You don't know who I am. But when you find out who I am, it'll be too late for you because you don't know who I am. You're incapable of finding out who I am. You remember the guy from Azerbaijan? You remember the stupid American talk we had? You know why some Americans are stupid Americans? Because you fall for the enemy. The enemy cradles you in their hands. You got the rhino Republicans that cradle you in their hands, and you allow them to stay in office, like the Cheneys. You allow people like Nikki Haley, Namorada to come and talk to you. You watch them on your Fox News. You watch them everywhere. But then you have another retard out there who also cradles you guys in his hand, and his name is Tucker Carlson. You know Tucker Carlson, the multi-millionaire who was kicked out of Fox, and he wants to sue Fox. You know Tucker Carlson, the same Tucker Carlson that went to interview a pimp who converted to Islam in Europe. Andrew Tate, a pimp who wants to sell PhDs online on how to become a pimp who's doing trafficking of women and was arrested in Romania, a pimp who has multiple citizenships in Islamic countries like UAE. And then he sits with Candace Owens, the same Candace Owens who talks crap about Donald Trump, attacks white people who support Donald Trump, like McEnany, calls her milquetoast, a racist word for white people, because, you know, she's white and milquetoast is white. Kayleigh McEnany, the milquetoast. You don't believe it? Go watch on YouTube. She put the reel up. Milquetoast McEnany. She was so quick to jump on Vivek Ramaswamy to go against Trump in Iowa. And she was saying how she's voting for Vivek over Trump. MAGA people, don't be stupid Americans. Those are the friends of Tucker Carlson. And what did Tucker Carlson do now? He went to Russia, like we talked about last week. But other than licking the boots of Putin and groveling at Putin, you know what else he did? He apparently went to the supermarket. Now, here's what Tucker Carlson missed. But we didn't miss. In communist countries, they have areas designated for people who come down there as tourists. They have places designated for people that they recruit out of universities, professors. They got places for people they recruit who come out of oil and gas modern day today. They have people that they recruit who want to become great coaches in the past, like Olympic. They used to have the best gymnastics. So you went over there to become great in gymnastics. You went over there to become great in Greco-Roman wrestling. You went over there to become great in powerlifting as a coach and come back and teach it and guide your athletes in your country. They used to put symposiums for professors in different fields, and they would give them a clap and call the guy's name, make him feel good. News agents would go there on a contract of you have to stay there for 3 years. Everywhere you go, a KGB agent went with you. They're not going to tell you they're a KGB agent, but they're with you. Apparently, Tucker Carlson doesn't know any of these things. Apparently, Tucker Carlson doesn't know they have places set up so that he can walk through it, so he can be fooled into thinking that life is good. But Tucker Carlson went to a supermarket. Him and the other 3 cameramen, staff members of his, the 4 of them, they bought some groceries. They compared prices. And Tucker Carlson is very impressed, because he bought so much groceries and it only cost him $104. He went and visited the subway of Moscow, you know, like in New York when you have a subway. It was so clean. It was so good. The technology was so great. It didn't look bad. It didn't look dirty like the ones in the United States. Don't be stupid, Americans. Remember Gavin Newsom? How he cleaned up the whole of San Francisco for President Xi, you know, Winnie the Pooh of China, when he came over. Remember, he removed all the homeless people, cleaned the shit off the streets, took away all the drugs, cleaned up the streets, washed the streets. He made it look so beautiful because he had a guest. You think Russia can't do that? Why? Do they have like broken legs and broken arms? Are they a quadriplegic? And they can't have even a wheelchair to sit in? Like, what's wrong? Why do you think Putin can't do something like what Gavin Newsom did? Was Gavin Newsom coming from Mars? That no one can do what Gavin Newsom can do? Don't be stupid, Americans. Don't fall for this crap. But let's take a look at it. Supposedly, Tucker Carlson came there with American dollars. I mean, where did he work? He doesn't work in Russia. He doesn't earn his living in rubles. He earns his living on USD funds, American dollars. So he took American dollars, which is worth a lot more than Russian rubles, and went to Russia and he bought some stuff. The normal person living in Russia is not a multi-millionaire like him. And the normal person living in Russia doesn't earn the same living as a poor person in the United States of America. They don't get paid the same. Now let's look at, in reality, how much groceries actually cost them. Telephone community notes inform Twitter users that over 60% of Russians spend half of their salary on food. According to who? This is not according to MSNBC. This is not according to BBC. This is not according to ABC. This is not according to CBS. This is not according to Vice News. This is not according to CTV or City TV. This is not according to your sisters, boyfriends, sisters, cousins, little rickety-deek news agency. This is not Fox or Newsmax or the right this and the right that. NPR and the MNPRs. No. This is according to Russia, state-owned news agency for inside of Russia called TASS. You know, the news agency you don't get here. You have to be in Russia to get it. Approved and run by Putin himself. I mean, Tucker Carlson said whatever Putin says is good. Whatever crap lies spew out of Putin's mouth is the Bible. So according to the Bible of Tucker Carlson, Putin, over 60% of Russians living in Russia today spend half of their salary on food. And we know they're trying to make it look good. So in reality, the real number should be more like 90% of Russians living in Russia today spend half their salary on food. But Tucker, he's happy. You know? Reminds me of some stupid Iranians who go from United States and Canada and Europe all the way to Iran. They take their Canadian dollars and American dollars and European euros, and they go to Iran and they buy everything and eat the best foods and eat the this and the that and buy this and buy that and show off in front of the Iranian people that, oh, your prices are so cheap. Of course they are when you're spending dollars and euros. You're not spending real and toman. And the grocery in the video cost 9,841 rubles. That's how much Tucker Carlson spent. But Tucker Carlson is not worried about 9,841 rubles because, after all, he's looking at it from a dollar. And from the dollar point of view, he only spent $104. Oh. And then Brian Craig will come and, eat the crap that comes out of Tucker Carlson's butt. Oh, yeah, it's so much better than our community grocery store. Shut up. A bunch of stupid Americans falling for stupid Americans. Don't be a stupid American. Smell the coffee and wake up, people. Look at what happens here. According to them, the Russians, the average wage in Russia. Average wage means you take from the highest earners, the oligarch billionaires, all the way down to the poorest people, and you average it out, okay? So in reality, the real number is worse than this. This averaged out because the oligarch is compensating for the poor one to meet in the middle. The average wage in Russia is 73,383 rubles. That comes out to $791 by the exchange rate today. The poorest guy working here in Texas, at the end of the month, working a full-time shift, is going to make at least 1,500. I'll be generous. Let's knock off $500. I mean, the guy is really, he's working some weird job that doesn't even pay a minimum wage. At least he's going to make at least $1,000. So the poorest person here is richer than the balanced out person in Russia. The average pensioner in Russia receives 19,500 rubles per month. Out of this 19,500 rubles per month, you've already spent almost half of it on just the groceries. How much is that person going to spend on their rent? What about their car? What about their cell phone? What about any of the other bills that normal people have? Tucker Carlson never thought of that. No. Tucker Carlson is the mouthpiece. He's the puppet for Putin. He has to talk good. Putin gave him money. There's money there. If you tell Tucker Carlson that you give him money, he'll sell you his underwear too. He'll probably give you his wife as well. For enough money, he'll do anything. Oh, yes. It's so good. Inflation rate. According to state media of Russia, they have inflation rate currently at 7.4. According to Biden has 3.1. However, in reality, the interest rate, the inflation in Russia is more like 16%. And in the United States, it's more like 5.5%. Oh, yeah, we're really worse than Russia. Oh, yeah. Oh, unimaginable, folks. Unimaginable. Don't be stupid Americans. It's currently impossible to get a mortgage rate that makes any sense in Russia. Forget about buying a house. Interest rate is so high. Out of the question. Danielle noted more or less accurately below, Russians spent 30% of their income on food. Americans only spend 10%. Now he's talking about people that make money. So, Tucker Carlson, if Russia looks so good, what the hell are you doing here? Move over there. Live over there. We left Iran to come here because we had to escape a war. We had to escape traumas that happened. We had to escape theft and killing and rape and throwing people in political prisons. Same thing happens in Russia, Tucker Carlson. You didn't do your homework. You didn't do your research before you went over there. Tucker Carlson says in Russia, it's very nice. No one steals. No one kills. No one gets raped. No one gets mugged. Nothing happens over there. Only in the United States it happens, right? And then, If that wasn't bad enough, Tucker Carlson went to Singapore. I mean, in Russia, let's put it together. You've heard of mail order brides? In Russia, they have a university for teaching women how to find a husband in America. There are actual sites that you can go to. You pay so they can match you with someone over there. Then you fly over there, wine them and dine them, take them around, buy them different stuff, make a nice long document about how the two of you are in love. So you can send that to Homeland Security so that they can say, okay, this is a legit marriage. And then you bring the woman after she gets the green card, which will be about a year or two, because she's married. It's fast track. Then problems will start in the house. Cops will be called out. You'll end up in jail. This, that, and the other. Miraculously, drugs will be found on you. Where did it come from? Nobody knows, but you have it. So you're in possession. Case will be made that you're angry, you beat her, this and that, and this and that. Year after she gets her citizenship, divorce time, take half of your belongings. And then that same woman who was single when you met her turns around the very next day after she takes half of your belongings, sponsors her husband from Russia and her kids. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tucker Carlson apparently doesn't know any of this either. I mean, he's blind. What can you do? He's like the blind rat that's under the ground that eats his way out and he has to use his nose to sniff. That's Tucker Carlson for you. He went to Singapore. I mean, if you go to Singapore and you take a cruise ship with you there and it's empty and you say, who wants to come to America? People will cut off their arms and legs to get to the cruise ship faster than the other people. I mean, they'll step all over each other to get to that cruise ship just so that you can bring it to America. But Tucker Carlson goes to Singapore. You guys have such great food, just like in Russia. You guys have such clean streets, just like in Russia. I mean, it's so safe over here. No one does anything over here. You guys are so great. Then he went to UAE, terrorist country. Yeah, all Muslim countries are terrorist countries. You don't believe me? Open the Quran. Kill them where you can find them. Cut their necks. Christians and the Jews are the worst of animals. Do not take them as friends or else you are one of them. That means you are an infidel. You must be killed too. Look at what they do in Nigeria to the Christians. Genocide is taking place. Nobody ever covers it. Nobody ever covers it. Terrorist countries. He goes over there and tells them, the country is so safe. There is no rape over here. There's no killing over here. There's no theft over here. Your streets are so clean. Your food is delicious. Apparently, everybody is so great except for United States that made him a millionaire, multi-millionaire. United States is bad for making him a multi-millionaire. Now, everybody else is perfect, apparently. What is he doing over here? He has no patriotism. For those of you who follow me in Telegram, I put up the post, the video of how a Muslim woman in an Arab Persian Gulf, not Gulf, Persian Gulf state, you know, like UAE, Saudi, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, you know, the ones that sit around the Persian Gulf. The Gulf has a name. It's not just golf. Okay? This is not a golf course that you're talking about. This is actual body of water with a name, like Gulf of Mexico. You don't call the Gulf of Mexico Gulf. Hence, the Persian Gulf is also not a Gulf, it's a Persian Gulf. It has a name. Woman gets beaten up by who? The morality police. Then they rape her. The morality police are the ones that are raping. And then, of course, comes jail sentence and eventually death. Go see it. Tucker Carlson says, oh, it's such a good country. You're not in any kind of danger from anything. Apparently, Tucker Carlson didn't do his research. I mean, Dr. Mosavat can find it and show it to you, but Tucker Carlson, apparently, he's blind. Looks like I should have his job. And the multi-millions should go to me because apparently I do his job a lot better than him. Now the cat is getting into cans and stuff. Tucker Carlson is so upset with the United States, how evil we are. I mean, that same food that he bought at the grocery store in the United States would cost them $400. I beg to ask him, did you go to Whole Foods or did you go to Walmart? I mean, where did you go? Did you go to Aldi's? Did you go to Community? Did you go to H-E-B? Where did you go, Tucker Carlson? That you spent $400 on a bunch of vegetables? And also, Tucker Carlson, you're teaching people to become stupid Americans. Why don't we tell them the truth? America, listen to me. The first thing Biden did when he came in office, he canceled the oil pipelines and gas pipelines between Canada and United States. That means when you don't have enough oil and gas, the distribution of trucks, trains, ships, airplanes, the cost goes up because now you need to get that same product, the oil and the gas, from the Middle East. It's going to take time for it to come. And now you're buying it from another country, which means they can sell it to you at whatever price they want. So, of course, they're going to raise the price. Hence, your products, their cost will go up because by bringing the product to the store has to pay more for the product to get there, which means now they have to sell it to you at a higher price. Simple, right? Second executive order your Biden sent was take off the bans that Donald Trump had on the oil and gas of Russia, which means Russia's hands are free to sell, 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 drill, drill, drill. And what did Russia do when his hands became free? He took on Ukraine and wants to invade Ukraine. Who's the one behind that? Biden. Biden is Putin's friend. And now Tucker Carlson is the mouthpiece for Putin, which means he's the mouthpiece for the mouthpiece of Biden. But he's a mega. He's mega. Oh, yeah. He's going to make America great again. Yeah, by telling you how bad the United States is. Again, he didn't do his research. Tucker Carlson is clueless with Russia gets these fresh, nice looking vegetables from. Russia is a cold country, like Canada. Russia has winters from 6 months a year to 8 months, 10 months to all year round. Vegetables don't grow in the cold. Don't be a stupid American. The vegetable comes to Russia from Iran, from Moldova, and other poor countries. In the case of Iran, Khamenei is a KGB agent. He does whatever Putin says. Putin buys grade A and B. You know, vegetables, when they're coming out of the farm, they're rated. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that. Well, the top grades, A and B, go to Russia at next to nothing price. Sometimes free. Yes, Islamic Republic of Iran, the government, they don't care about the Iranian. They've been committing genocide on Iranians for 44 years. They don't care. They make deals amongst themselves with the Russian government. As long as some money goes in their pocket, that's about it. Who cares about the poor farmer? The C grades go to Iraq. You know, the one you call Iraq. Iraq gets to eat better than the Iranian people, because the farmers have to sell to the Iranian government. The Iranian government gets to buy it for next to nothing, and then they sell it for what they want. The D-rated products, which are, you know, not so good, go to the Iranian people. Same with Moldova. Sometimes the Russians, they kick these products out of the truck, stomp on it and destroy it just so they can show their power and might. So they get very low prices. They work it in. The countries that bringing the products to Russia has to pay for the goods to reach Russia. So Russia doesn't pay for transportation, except when it's inside its own country. And drill, baby, drill, they do. So their cost is low compared to us. But they don't pay their people. So for their people, the cost is high. Tucker Carlson doesn't know any of that either. He's a big potato that sits there. And like Senator Tom Tillis says, he's telling you the truth in this tweet. Ah, yes, Russia is so much better than United States with all those cheap groceries and lavish subway stations. The Soviets had a term for people like Tucker. Useful idiots. He's not wrong. That is an actual term. I urge every single person who watches this video in English, after this video is finished, go to my playlist. You know, in my channel, go to playlist. Click on the playlist and then look for the following name. Look, I highlighted it for you. I put it in red, I highlighted it yellow, and I underlined it red. Yuri Bezmenov. Please go and watch this guy's video. Please go and watch it. I've known about this video for a long time ago, but I found it again in 2024, and I put it in there. I wanted to share it with people earlier, but I never had a channel, so I couldn't. I urged others to share it, 2 different channels. They never did, for whatever reason. Not mine. Channels, I can't say. I'm not the boss. I'm only a guest. But this is my channel. Here, I can show you what you need to see. Go and see it. It's in English. Yuri Bezmenov let an ex-KGB agent who died trying to wake the public up. He was assassinated. Go listen to him. He'll tell you how he used to get PhD doctors teaching in universities in India. And they used to brainwash them and call them useful idiots because they're moving the agenda, the communist agenda. He'll talk to you about how the problem you're facing today in your universities today were caused by what they, the KGB, back in Soviet Union, designed and forced on you. All the problems you have with wokeism, LGBTs, people who hate their country and are not patriotic anymore. All of that, he covers it. Go look at it. Just go look at it. Do yourself, your kids, and everyone you love a favor and go look at it. Washington Post. Putin dead critic. I guess Tucker Carlson didn't do his research on this part either. He said everyone's safe. No one gets raped. No one gets killed. Well, I just brought you 5 names. It took me like 2 seconds. Alexei Navalny, the recent one. On Tuesday, he was laughing and smiling in jail in the Arctic cannoli, way up in the North Pole beside Santa Claus. But on Wednesday, he was dead. I mean, Tucker just left and he kills people. And then someone like Brian Craig, who thinks he knows so much in Florida, longest running radio show, Brian Craig. Bible Tucker Carlson said so. That place is peaceful. It was Ukraine and Biden that did it. Biden, oh yeah, Biden. Oh yeah, Biden. They killed the guy in a Russian prison. The guy died in a Russian prison. And Brian Craig is going to tell you that the guy who did, and he calls himself Mr. Mega. He's the Mega Radio. Stupid American. Brian Craig. Don't be like Brian Craig. Brian Craig's going to tell you the guy who's in a prison in the North Pole of Russia. You know, the worst prisons in Russia are in the North Pole region. Ask any Russian. When you get sent to the North Pole, it means you don't return. Your family loses access to you. No one finds out about you until you're dead. And if you're lucky and you're famous enough, then the news will come out about your dead body. If you're not lucky enough to be famous, like the opposition to Putin, then no one will ever hear of you. The guy died in a federal prison of Russia, and Brian Craig is going to tell you that it was the Ukrainians and the Americans that did it. Really? How did they get in there? I mean, it's easy for Russia to do it. They're there. They have him in their possession. But Brian Craig, stupid American. Oh, no, it was Ukraine. Tucker Carlson can't be wrong. He said they're safe. Others that Russia under Putin has killed. Anna Politkovsky. What was she doing? She was a journalist. Putin said on his national TV, Tucker Carlson's weak. I expected him to challenge me on the answers I gave him. But he wasn't like the Russian news agencies to challenge me. He was weak. When they challenge you, Putin, you kill them. How did she die? Fatally shot in the lobby of her Moscow apartment building. Alexander Litvinenko. Supposedly, he's a spy, according to Putin. Who's he spying for, living in Russia? How did he die? By poison. Sergei Magnitsky. What was he? Tax advisor. He's the guy who does your taxes. H&R Block. He's your accountant. How was he killed? He was thrown in a prison, beaten to death in prison. I bet that was also Ukraine too. I mean, we all know how powerful Ukraine is. Boris Nemtsov. He was a politician, fatally shot on a bridge in Moscow. Oh, but Tucker says no one never dies over there. I mean, come on, man. All the Russians have wings because they're all angels. Especially Putin. He has like 45 of them. You know, the wings just come out of everywhere. He just flies everywhere. You know? The next link from MSN.com. Russia. Russia, very close. I mean, we hear from a lot of people. We got a lot of idiots out there. A lot of idiots. And they talk. And they talk without knowing what they talk about. Oh, Russia doesn't allow vaccines into the country. What are you talking about? He makes his own. He's in a conflict with the West. He doesn't want Western stuff to get into Russia. But he wants Russian stuff to not only be in Russia, but go everywhere else. So, while Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and a shitload of others were making a COVID vaccine, Russia was making its own COVID vaccine. He wasn't against COVID vaccine. He was against Moderna. He was against Pfizer, the company, not the vaccine itself. Oh no, he was standing up to the globalists. Him attacking Ukraine is against the globalists. Come on, man. Globalists control both sides. Wake up and smell the coffee. Don't be stupid Americans. Don't fall for these tricks. I've been saying it since 2019. Well, here's some more proofs for you. President Vladimir Putin on Wednesday, local time in Russia, and scientists were close to creating a vaccine for cancer. Then when I was this big, I haven't even left Iran yet. They already were telling us about how scientists in Germany, they've cured cancer. But you know, cancer research, there is a lot of money in there. You got to keep it hush hush. When I was in Canada, 3 different occasions I heard the cure for cancer has been created. No, we got to keep hush hush, suppress it. Can't get out. There's a famous doctor here in Houston. He's cured many people of all kinds of cancers. As long as you take his pill, which is an enzyme, you're good to go. FDA, ransack his office. The government, FBI, has to ransack his office. His patients come and testify for him at court. Multiple times he's been taken to court. All of his patients come down like an army. They all show their record, get the guy out. They stripped him of being a doctor. Imagine that. They stripped him of being a doctor because he cured cancer. Not for 1, not for 2, not for 3, not for 4, not for 50, not for 100. But, you know, now they got to make a vaccine for cancer. That means, you know, every cancer, there's a vaccine. Breast cancer, come get this vaccine. Prostate cancer, come get that one. You're going to get a tumor, come get this one. You got this problem with the cancer, come get this vaccine for it. They're going to have an endless amount. mRNA, mRNA, mRNA. All of them are going to be mRNA. Putin said in televised comments, we have come very close to the creation of the so-called cancer vaccine and immunomodulatory drugs for the new generation. So they want to turn you into a vegetable and give you the cancer vaccine until you get something and die. They don't care if you die. They just want to give it to you. Oh, you don't have cancer? Don't worry. Did your mother have it? Did your aunts have it? Did your uncle have it? Did your grandfather have it? So you might get it. It's best you come and get the vaccine so you don't get the cancer later. And then you find out later you got the cancer. It was the same thing with all the others. I mean, you get it, and then they say, well, it's going to stop you. And then Anthony Fauci will tell you, well, it's not really going to stop you. It's going to stop you from giving it to others. And then they're going to come and they're going to backtrack on that. Anthony Fauci will say, well, it's not for that, really. And then he'll backtrack. And then at the end, he'll turn around and he'll tell you, well, I didn't say it. Who said it? I didn't say it. Nobody said it. I don't know who said it. Who said it? Don't be stupid Americans. Don't fall for everything that they tell you. Don't be a stupid American. That's the saying around the world. Everyone knows it. I mean, everyone's in on it except for the American. Everyone calls the American the stupid American because they know you're going to fall for every trick that nobody else is going to fall for. I mean, they all just look at you like, why? I mean, these guys are the most technologically advanced country. They have all this good stuff going. Why do they fall for every trick? Every trick. There's only two nations that fall for every trick. They're the Americans and the Iranians. They fall for every trick in the book. I mean, you can play the same trick on them over and over, and they'll keep falling for it, over and over. Nobody else does that. But miraculously, these two nations, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with them, man. Continuing. A number of countries and companies, I'm not lying, look, it's right here, are working on the cancer vaccine. It's just what I told you with the COVID. Same thing over here. Putin's working on his own cancer vaccine. He doesn't like what the other countries and the other companies in those countries are doing. He sees them as competition. Last year, the UK is not a country. UK is multiple countries. It's the United Kingdom. UK covers Northern Ireland, Wales, England, Scotland, and of course, there's Germany-based BioNTech to launch clinical trials providing personal cancer treatment. I mean, personalized cancer treatment. Isn't every treatment personalized? Well, I mean, what do? You bring in all the people that have cancer, you put them together, you put them in one room, and then you give all of them one drug, and then they take one pill for everybody? No, you give everybody a personalized treatment. What is this? Personalized? Were they like a herd treatment before? Personalized treatment, aiming to reach 10,000 patients by 2030. Everything comes back to 2030. They got to get rid of you by 2030. AIs are coming in by 2030. They can't have you being here when the AIs are running every single field. And they can't have you sit at home and tell them, give me my welfare check because there's no jobs. No, they got to do something. They got to find a way to, erase you. You don't exist. Like in a cartoon. Erase the character. And then they made movies. Marvel made movies about how half the population is gone. Now they want to make that into a reality. Don't be asleep. This program will get banned by YouTube. I guarantee you with what I'm saying now, it's going to get erased. They're going to remove this. So spread it with everybody you can. That's why they targeted many of your best doctors like Gutierrez, Rashid Gutierrez. Many like that throughout Europe and North America are targeted and killed for speaking out. But we're not afraid. We talk. That's the oath we took. We took the oath of not doing harm. We took the oath of protecting the patient. Part of that protecting the patient means to open your eyes, enlighten you on what you don't know, so you can protect yourself and your family and your loved ones. If people like me who know don't speak, it would be a cruelty on people like you who don't know. You can't protect yourself from what you don't know, but you can protect yourself from what you know. Don't fall for Agenda 2030, climate change, 2023, the Green New Deal, they're all the same. 2050. Don't fall for them. They're all the same. Don't be a stupid American. Be a wise American. Be a patriotic American. Be the American that tells people like Tucker Carlson, go to hell. Don't waste our time. Don't demoralize us. Don't try to ruin the mega party with this nonsense. Here's your next link. Putin says Russia prefers Biden to Trump, but criticizes current USA policy. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, would prefer to see US President Joe Biden win a second term, describing him as more experienced and predictable than Donald Trump, even though Moscow strongly disagrees with the current administration policies. Putin commands during an interview with the Russia State TV on Wednesday, where his first about coming United States presidential election, likely to pit Biden against Trump. There were rare praises for Biden, a fierce critic of the Russian leader who has frequently eluded Trump. He doesn't like Trump. He likes Biden. Tucker Carlson says he's such a great man. He's so good. I mean, the guy is good. We're so bad to it. And the Putin is kissing Biden's butt. Oh, I wish Biden stayed there so that America can be destroyed. And Craig Bryan will say, Brian Craig, Russia's not a threat to us. Russia's not a threat to us. They have missiles, we got missiles. They're not a threat to us. Buddy, they're working on you mentally. Russia doesn't need to come in with a gun and shoot everybody. They work mentally on you to demoralize you, to take you out. They want to put in their puppet. They want to put in a guy who gives advantage to Russia, named Joe Biden, with the oil and the gas. They want to give advantage to Russia by depleting United States money, by money laundering it through Ukraine. They want to give advantage to Russia. Why no one goes into Russia? Why is Russia's borders completely solid? I mean, people are going into all over Europe, except Russia. People are going into Iran, Afghanis and Pakistanis. No one's going to Russia. People are going from around the world into the United States. No one goes into Russia. Why? He's got a solid border. But he wants Biden there so you can allow them to keep coming in. So instead of 15 million, you can have 50 million. And then they can run amok inside your country because no one's vetted. You don't know who he is. They can kill whoever they want and run away. You want to know who they are? Don't be stupid, American. Don't fall for these Russians. Don't fall for the mouthpiece of Russian like Tucker Carlson. I don't care how good he used to be. Trust everybody on their day-to-day. What do they do for you today? If I was to reference from Eddie Murphy's joke, Eddie, what did you do for me lately? What did Tucker Carlson do for you lately? Except slap the United States across the face in every third world country, in front of every tyrant he steps in front of. And then there is France. France is busy pushing a law that if you talk against COVID-19 vaccine, if you think you have a freedom of speech, well, they can charge you anywhere between 15,000 euros to 45,000 euros and land you in jail, in prison for 3 whole years. You're not allowed to talk. You all saw the Kansas City shooting. You don't need me to show you the video. All of you saw it in the English language. We can bypass showing you the video. Multiple armed men detained. When you have gang-on-gang violence, innocent people in between get shot. Of course, this won't see a lot of news because they're mostly black. I mean, every picture I see, they're black. And we all know blacks can't do anything bad. Not in the woke society because they're not white. That's what's taught in universities in the West, courtesy of Russia. But we were all told that this year's Super Bowl is not going to be made out of wokeism. We were all told that this year it's going to be about the sports. We were all told that this year you're not going to see LGBTQ, wokeism, and none of that kind of stuff. But then we found out that it was all a fake. Your entire commercials in the middle of your football game were woke. They want to tell you otherwise, but it's lies. They were all the same stuff you've ever seen before. The white man is the stupid one. The white woman is slightly smarter. The black person was the genius in the commercials. Still woke. Nothing changed. And then we found out that the winning team has fake girlfriends that are not even girls, but they're there because they got to push the LGBTQ agenda. I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't need any pushing because it's already there, but they got to push it on you. Yeah. So we're going to share it with you. Take a good look at this video because a lot of you may have never seen it, and you're going to see it after the winning celebrations.
It's keeping me focused, so that's like sound like it's supposed to be. The O3, Bonnie and Clyde, Hope and B. All I need in the sight to stand. It's me, give a girlfriend, give a girlfriend.
Down the ride to the very end. It's me and my boyfriend.
That's right, all I need in this life.
I mean, her head is bigger than his head. Women tend to have smaller heads than men. Her hand is bigger than his hand. Goes across the back of his head and comes around the side. I mean, I can't even put my hand like that around the back of my head. Gigantic hand. It's a man's hand. Look at the elbow pointing. Look at the elbow pointing. Look at the big shoulder. I mean, this guy's wearing special shoulder brace, you know, to protect. And her shoulders are almost the same size. Look at the giant height. Look at the muscles on the back of the leg. Those are not female muscles. Those are male muscles. You know, we're not saying that to say something's wrong. Anyone who wants to do whatever they want to do, that's their own life. They want to do sin, they want to do right, it's up to them. No one controls them. No one's going to be punished in the grave for somebody else's sin. They want to do something, that's up to them. But they should do it in private amongst themselves. Don't push it on us. It's sin for our eyes to watch you do this kind of crap. And I bet you anything, these two aren't even in a relationship. It's just a ploy. They're only doing that just so they can pass it along to you. And look at this guy in the blue suit. I mean, he's looking at it like as if he wishes he was in between the two of them. Wokeism. Wokeism, I tell you. And of course, it doesn't want to show. Well, don't worry. See if I can. We will show you the rest from another point. Next, we're going to go to Dearborn, Michigan.
Inshallah, we thank Allah.
We are going to go to Dearborn, Michigan. We're going to see what our resident monkey Abdul Ghani is going to talk about now. You guys remember Abdul Ghani? Mr. Buzzsaw. Remember the guy? He was sitting on the member telling us about how when the IDF, the Israeli soldiers, go to Israel, it's like they're going to go through a buzzsaw, like a buzzsaw. They're going to get attacked from Lebanon, and they're going to get attacked from Gaza, and they're going to get attacked from Yemen and Syria and Iraq, and you got Iran there. Remember? He was doing all the hand gestures and coming forward and going backwards. And oh, what an entertainment he put for you last time. Remember on October 7th? Well, they're back because apparently in Dearborn, Michigan, now they had the commemoration for Ayatollah Ruhollah al-Khomeini. You know, the Indian Satan worshipper who pretended to be, I mean, he was Sikh originally. Then he pretended to be a Muslim. Then he pretended to be from the family of the Prophet of Islam. Then he pretended to be, you know, the man who's going to bring peace to the Middle East. Carter said so. Biden was the advisor to Carter at that time. Oh, he's the man who's going to bring peace to the Middle East 44 years ago, 1979. He stayed in France, flew on Air France. You know, he came down there. Oh, he was the West's best man. They wanted to take out the king of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who they also killed with poison. They gave him cancer. And then instead of treating him for it, they effed up, made it worse. Egypt found out, kicked out the American and the French doctors. Said, you guys are making him worse in the name of treatment. So now let's listen to what the terrorists in Dearborn, Michigan want to teach you. And I'll rebuttal them as we go along. And then I will slap them silly so hard with knowledge and facts that their tails will come out of their mouths. Let's listen to them. Americans, don't be stupid, Americans. Look what you have inside your country. This is a threat to you. Listen to it.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with the iman that is characterized by the love and the commitment and the devotion to Ruhullah al-Khomeini.
The love and commitment to Ruhullah al-Khomeini. He's blessing that they're blessed for the devotion to Ruhullah al-Khomeini. What did Khomeini say? America is the big Satan. You have to end it. Israel is the small Satan. You have to end it. That means this guy is a terrorist. He's an open terrorist telling you that he wants to commit terrorism. He wants to follow the path of Khomeini here in the United States, in your backyard.
The Mossad, the Israeli intelligence, or should I say stupidity, creates imbecile stations like Memory, and they want.
So Memory, the channel that we're looking, apparently that's also Mossad. Apparently I'm also Mossad. Anyone who talks against the Islamic Republic of Iran or Islam is Mossad. David Wood is Mossad. Apostate Prophet is Mossad. Everybody is Mossad. Christian Prince is Mossad. Everybody is Mossad. And in reality, none of them are Mossad.
Want to silence us as a community. And since you're listening, I'll let you know who the greatest threat to the American people is.
Yes, tell us, tell us. I mean, Khomeini said he wants to end the United States. Qasem Soleimani, who turned into a kebab, thanks to Donald J. Trump, was talking about how he wants, if he wants, Qasem Soleimani, if he wants, he can get into the White House and slit Obama's throat.
The greatest threat to the American people is Israel. And the American people are waking up to.
Yes, the greatest threat to American people, according to this retarded monkey that you're seeing on your screen, is Israel. I mean, really now, since when has Israel done anything? I guess all those protests we saw that was yelling, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, blocking highways and blocking the path to the airport and attacking synagogues and raping and killing Jews and trying to kill them inside of universities and, you know, ransacking people's homes and shooting at Joel Osteen's church. I guess those were all Jews.
The fact that their country has been hijacked by Zionist and elitist thugs, and that the American people have more in common with the ones being killed overseas.
Yes, Americans, you have a lot in common with the Palestinian and the Lebanese Muslims that are being killed overseas. I mean, when they see a 6-year-old kid, they see a bride for a fucking contract. That's literally what nikah means. It doesn't mean marriage, because in Arabic, marriage is the waj, not nikah. But when you see a 6-year-old child over here, you think, man, we should take her in the house, give her a roof over her head, feed her, dress her, put her in school, hope that she can go to university when she gets older, graduate, and become somebody. In the Middle East, when they see a Christian or a Jew, it's time to hang them because they're spreading hatred against the Prophet of Islam. They're doing blasphemy to that Buddha statue called Allah. But when you're back here and you see a Christian or a Jew, you allow them to be free. You have a lot in common with them. I mean, in their eyes, Jesus is not named Jesus. He's named Isa, which means the white sperm of a white camel. Yeah, they can insult your God with garbage, but you have to be tolerant of the man named Ghatam, who later called himself Muhammad. Ghatam means the human feces. When the guy lived for over 40 years by the name of Qatam, meaning human feces, and then one day he decided to call himself the praised one. So if he's the praised one, who's the praised too? Because apparently you got to praise God too. So God is praised too. You have a lot in common with them.
Than the politicians in Washington infected by greed.
Infected by greed. I mean, Joe Biden is there, but who voted him in? You did. There was Rashida Khalil, and there was Ilhan Omar, and there was a whole bunch of you. In Indianapolis, all the Somalians that are Muslim. In Dearborn, Michigan, all of you retards. You're the ones who voted for him.
Who have betrayed the people of this country.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. The greed of the Washington has betrayed the people of this country because they're bending over backwards for the people of your country back over there, two-state, when they know that they can't have two states. There was no Palestine. There's never been a Palestinian people. They were the Phoenicians. They were the Berber. And the Muslims came and killed them all off in the name of Islam. These are all Arabs. They're not Palestinian no more. And they want to kill every Jew. You can't give them a state. But Joe Biden wants to bend over backwards for you.
So tyrants of today take notice.
Which tyrants are you talking about? Ali Khamenei? Hassan Nasrallah? The kings of the Middle East? Putin? The family of Fidel Castro? President Xi of China? Which one?
Open your ears, Sleepy Joe. Wake. The jig is up. We know none of you are any different than Donald Trump.
Well, during the Donald Trump era, first of all, the next time we see you talk about Donald Trump, we'll slap you so hard, all your teeth will fall out of your mouth. Donald Trump, during his time, had peace in the world. Donald Trump, during his time, demolished ISIS that was running amok, killing you terrorists in Syria and Lebanon and Iraq. He did you a lot of good.
And they are seeing the truth clearly showing between your lies.
Mm.
And that is why you hate this revolution.
Revolution or terrorism? You don't have a revolution. Americans didn't ask you for a revolution. You got a bunch of terrorists running around committing terrorism, like at Joel Osteen's church. But that wasn't the first church. It's multiple churches that have been attacked.
That is why you tried to make the entire world hate Imam Khomeini.
No, actually, they tried the opposite. Carter said he's the man who will bring peace to the Middle East. Biden is the one who's opening up and giving Iran money left, right, and center. He's the one who removed all the executive orders that Trump had. He's the one who allows Iran to buy military weapons from any country in the world now. Took him out of the banned list. You got your facts wrong.
The one who sought to put the rule of the modern day pharaohs to an end.
Oh, yeah, he wanted to put the modern day pharaohs to an end, bring the kingdoms to an end. We saw how he did that in Iran. He turned Iran into a shithole. Iran went from one of the fastest growing nations on the planet, with a fast rise towards becoming a First Nation country. One that the Koreans came to watch and learn from us how we're running companies, as we were doing so well. And they're using the Iranian model today in South Korea, and they're doing so great. Everyone knows South Korean products like Samsung, LG, and so on. And we saw what your Khomeini did. He's not even your Khomeini because you're not even Iranian. You're not even Indian. What the hell are you? Lebanese? Syrian? a bunch of Arabs sitting there praising a genocide Arab government that's committing genocide on the Iranians, and you're praising it, and you want the same thing to happen in the United States? Don't be stupid, American public. Listen to him, America.
Everything changed when the revolution.
Everything changed. Here's Abdul Ghani, our resident monkey that sits on a member who talks all kind of shit about everybody. And now someone's going to say, are you okay? Why do you use such bad words? You have to use bad words. When it's time to use bad words, you got to use it. When it's time to use good words, you use the good words. You don't sugarcoat things. Jesus didn't walk around and call good names to everybody. Some he called the spine and serpents and dogs and everything in between. Devils and everything. That was Jesus. I'm not Jesus. I'm Dr. Musawa. I will call a spade and a club a club. Everything changed when the revolution happened in Iran 44 years ago. The Islamic Republic of Iran came up back when this guy wasn't even a Muslim. Back when he was going to those black nightclubs where the women lays on the floor making a V shape with her legs, and they go on top of a table and jump like the Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh, yeah. And they pretend like they're going to do the X-rated movie in front of everybody. Back when he was doing that, measuring his stick to see if he's longer than the other fellas beside him. Back then, Khomeini came and took a pile of shit on Islamic Republic of Iran. He created that government, and we're still paying for it until today.
We're very grateful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored us with this. And
he's very grateful that his statue god, Allah, honored him with the misfortune of 80 million Iranians who are suffering in Iran, whose money has been ripped off of them to finance terrorist organizations around the world, especially in the Middle East. He's very grateful that Iranian youth are grabbed by morality police, smashed on the ground, smashed into the vans so they can get concussions and head traumas and die in the hospital. He's very grateful that Iranians had to go and have an 8-year war with Iraq, and Muslim has to die over Muslim. He's very grateful that Khamenei, a KGB agent who was poor as shit can be, all of a sudden has become a multi-billionaire who can buy and sell people in the United States like it was cotton candy. He's very grateful. He's very grateful because they're sending him money. Money laundering goes to this guy too. He's very grateful, America.
of course, we offer our congratulations, first and foremost, to our master, the Imam of the time, the last hope of humanity.
He means the 12th descendant of the family of Qatab, the human feces, a fake, fictitious, made-up leader by the name of Muhammad al-Mahdi. Apparently, this Mahdi has died multiple times according to the other sects, but according to the mainstreams in Shia and Sunni, he's supposed to come at the end of time, and Jesus is supposed to go and pray behind him, and a few other prophets who've been alive since day one, like Heather, the green guy, because wherever he goes and sits, he becomes green, which was actually a story from way back in the day by Gilgamesh and his time. And they had a guy who found the fountain of youth, and everywhere he goes, he becomes green because he has the fountain of youth, so he can't die. Yeah, these guys took that story and turned it into Heather, and now the guy walks around everywhere, and everywhere he goes, it's green. And so he has to send congratulations to that guy, the Mahdi, for what? Let's see.
After that, to his representative, the wali of our time, Imam Khamenei.
And he has to send congratulations to Khamenei, the cockroach that's in charge of Iran, for the Islamic Republic of Iran, which steals Iran's money, allows other countries to steal Iran's resources. I mean, UAE is making a palm island in the Middle East, in the Persian Gulf. And every time they do, they keep moving it forward, never ends. Mountains have to be broken down in Iran to be sent over there so they can build this thing. And every time they do, they say we have more of the water. And then they want to take over Iranian islands that the British were forced to give to us in response to taking away the province of Bahrain, which is the island of Bahrain, the country of Oman, the country of the whole of Kuwait, the whole of UAE, and the whole eastern side of Saudi Arabia. Continue.
God won't make anyone rule over us except the person we're afraid of.
That's right. God will make people rule over you except for those that you're afraid of. So whoever you're afraid of, the God of Islam will put that person in charge of you. Because, you know, the God of Islam is not a merciful God. The God of Islam is a devil, is Satan. Hence, he has to put the one that you fear over you so that that person can be unjust to you. And then they were trying to tell those tyrants in the world, listen, your God puts the tyrants as leaders over the people. You just said it. Monkey.
If we're afraid of Genocide Joe, we get Genocide.
No, we're not afraid of Genocide Joe. Genocide Joe cheated his way into becoming president. Let's get that straight. A bunch of you cheated for him.
Joe. If we're afraid of Netanyahu, we get Netanyahu.
No, we're not afraid of Netanyahu. Netanyahu does a lot of good for his own people. I mean, he just went in there 2 weeks ago and freed 2 more hostages that you guys were hiding.
Yeah. It's a principle that you and I learned from Shahid Qasem Soleimani.
Oh, you learned the principle from Qasem Soleimani, the kebab, huh? The one who was turned into a cutlet. Do tell, do tell.
What did he teach us?
Yeah, what did he teach?
He taught us that in times of crisis, there is incredible opportunity.
Yeah. In time of crisis, there's an incredible opportunity. What kind of opportunity? Commit terrorism. Qasem Soleimani killed over 1 million Iranians, hundreds of thousands of people in Syria and Iraq. There's good opportunity to do terrorism in the time of crisis. That's why we showed you, Mr. You don't know who I am. When you soon you'll find out who I am. The arms dealing terrorist head of Islamic Society of Azerbaijan, who's now roaming around somewhere here in the United States. And he's happy because we're going to do some opportunity. The opportunity for terrorism is really high.
A story from Imam Khomeini.
Oh, he's going to tell us a story from Khomeini. Americans, open your ears. Don't be stupid Americans. Be wise Americans. Listen. Listen and learn.
May Allah bless Imam Khomeini.
Oh. The satanic leader of cults who had to create sacrifices left, right, and center, Khomeini, he wants to bless him.
Right now you see resistance in Iraq.
Right now you see resistance in Iraq. They're trying to kill Americans. This guy lives in America, by the way. Dearborn, Michigan. You see resistance in Yemen. They're attacking cargo ships so that you don't get your goods. No one gets their goods. And the price of goods can skyrocket. Who will make profit off of that? China. Because the goods are coming out of China. China has already got your money. Your goods went smoke into the air. You're going to buy it again? They're going to have to sell it at a higher price because they're going to go around the whole continent of Africa now.
You see resistance in Yemen, our Yemeni brothers. I mean, to me, I can't get enough of.
He can't get enough of their statements. I mean, every single one of them has a drug, and you see their cheek like this. And then all of them are saying, death to America, death to America. He's so happy. They're all saying death to America. He wants America to be dismantled and destroyed. This guy right here, this potato you're looking at, he wants United States destroyed. He's a big terrorist. Where's the FBI? Where's the CIA? Where's the NSA?
Of hearing their statements. You see how in Gaza, the Palestinians are going to break Netanyahu.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. In Gaza, I mean, they go from city to city in Gaza. You know, they went to Haifa, they went to every, you name it, they've been there. They're all over the place, you know, from Gaza. Now they're in Rafah, you know, they made it. Man Yunis, everywhere. They've just been, like the song that says, I've been everywhere, man. The IDF are all over the place, you know, they're everywhere. Biden is every day, please, like you've seen the Catholic Italians, all right, please, 4 hour peace every day, 4 hour peace. Okay, over the top, you've gone over the top. Oh, please, we need a two-state, two-state. Oh, please. Biden's pissing himself for you. Oh, but the Palestinians are going to break Netanyahu. Let's see how, Mr. Buzzsaw.
This is going to be something you witness in your own lives.
Yeah, you're going to witness it in your own lives. Americans, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid, Americans. You're going to witness it with your own eyes, your eyes. Let's see what else this Abdul Ghani wanted to teach you.
You see Lebanon.
You see Lebanon.
Where did this start? Imam Khomeini.
Oh, where did this start? Khomeini was the terrorist that started it all. Khomeini started this terrorism. He wants to continue the terrorism right here in Dearborn, Michigan with you, the Americans. And then you wonder why I use the words I use. Wake up, America.
So Iran, which was just had the revolution, believers are just standing on their feet. Few months in, what happened? Some of the brave university students rushed into the US embassy. Weak-minded, liberal individuals. Those people, and they're always like this. They started saying, let those guys go. Let them, you mustn't, this is not okay. Let them go. Scary contractors doing dirt in your country. Let them go.
Oh, so you don't agree with the international law, is it? So that Israel has all rights to do whatever he wants. Why are you asking, protesting months on end? You stop the killing. You kill too much. Who gave you the number for the killing? 30,000, 40,000, 100,000. Who's giving these numbers? Hamas. Hamas is giving the numbers. And then your democratic news agencies who are all doing treason to United States of America take the Hamas numbers and say, oh, this is how many are dead. And they forget to mention amongst those dead are actual Hamas terrorists too. But the number's been inflated like a balloon.
Imam Khamenei says at that time, I went with Imam Khomeini. I went with, and he mentions two of the brothers. I'm not going to mention their names. He says, we went to Imam Khomeini. We have a hostage.
Two brothers, huh? And you were there. You listened to the story from who? I mean, at that time, you were in your black nightclub, jumping off of tables onto women, thinking you're super fly. Jimmy, Snooker, show.
Situation, and our taklif isn't clear We're not sure what we should do. Should we keep the hostages or should we let them go? The leader says, Imam Khomeini thought for a second. He looked up and he looked right at those brothers. And he asked one question.
He asked, hey, he asked one question. Like he's axing down a tree, you know? Used an axe and he asked one question. Stupid. Shame on you. You can't even speak the language you were born in. He asked a question.
Are you afraid of America?
Are you sure that was the question? Are you sure he didn't ask, are you my father? Because apparently the leader in here should be Khomeini and Khamenei, but you have two brothers. And one of those brothers is the leader in front of Khamenei. Was it Rafsanjani? Huh?
The leader said, I didn't let those guys answer. I jumped in. I said, no, we're not afraid. Imam Khomeini said, then keep the hostages.
Yeah, keep the hostages. He wants the American hostages to be taken. Big time terrorist Abdul Ghani, slave of Ghani, that's what his name means. Abdul means slave. Ghani is the one who's the owner of the slave here. You're the slave of whatever the last thing is. So he's slave of Ghani. He wants Americans to be taken hostage. Now, which one of you Americans watching this program can get in contact with the FBI and send them over to Dearborn, Michigan, so they can arrest his ass?
Right now, the IDF, they're not brave guys. They wear adult diapers.
Oh, yeah. The IDF soldiers of Israel are not brave. They're wearing diapers. I'm going to show you who wears diapers in a second.
I mean, seriously, like, what army is this?
Yeah, the people laugh. And then he has to say, seriously, what kind of army is this? What kind of army is this? I'm going to show you what kind of army it is in a second.
They're getting it handed to them.
Oh, yeah.
They're the worst people on earth.
Oh, they're getting it handed to them. They're getting it handed to them. They're really getting it handed to them, man. They're the worst people on earth. Actually, that's in the Quran. You know, in the Quran, it says that Christians and the Jews are the worst of creation. That means the cockroach is better than the Jews and the Christians. The rat is better. The lice is better. The tick is better. The worm is better. The maggot is better. It's in the Quran. It's in the Quran. Islam is the language and the religion of peace. That's peace. They tell you all the time, respect our book, respect what we say, respect our tradition, respect and respect. But they can tell you whatever they feel like. And you got to sit there and take it. All right, let's go to the next video. Allow me to bring it up for you because Word is not working. So we will bring it up for you. Give me 1 second to find it. Found it. Now come to share a screen and share it with you so you can have it. Shortly, it'll show up on your screen. In the meantime, allow me to drink a few sips of water. All right, you have it. So Israel has to fight 2 fronts every day, and they also have to monitor and fight 2 other fronts every so often. Israel is fighting in Gaza every day. Israel is also fighting against Lebanon because of the Hezbollah terrorists shooting from there every day. They've made everybody who lives in the north leave their homes. They can't return back until Hezbollah is finished. So technically, there's 2 enemies that are fighting with Israel every single day. On top of that, there is a corridor between Iraq and Syria where Iran and its terrorist armies are going back and forth trying to reach Hezbollah of Lebanon. So they have to hit those strategic sites as well. So Israel is fighting on multiple fronts. And let's see who really is the brave and who's wearing the diaper, who's getting it handed to them. This is what happened in Lebanon a couple of days ago. Oh yeah, we saw who got it handed to them. And now, let's see what else we can find for you. The pictures are easy to show. The videos, I gotta search for you because it won't let me play it off of this. So I have to find where they are and play it from a different place. Luckily, I was smart enough to put backup for backups. Here we see one picture. He's a dead terrorist from Hezbollah. You see Hassan Nasrallah. Hassan Nasrallah at the bottom, he's in the tunnels. He wants to do some sex change as well because he eventually has to leave the tunnel to get his life into safety. He wants to pretend he's a woman so that the IDF doesn't shoot him and kill him. So he has to protect his breast assist. And don't worry about the beard. He will tell you that he's from a tribe that the women have long beards. I mean, what can you do? It's they're Arabs. And beside him over here, we have for you, courtesy of Abdul Ghani. Abdul Ghani said he learned from General Mahmoud Soleimani. Oh, the guy that became a kebab, courtesy of Donald J. Trump. That's him right here. He's in the hands of the other guy. He was gay back in the day, and he was the bottom. Let's be straight. We call spade a spade. He was the bottom in the business. He, like when they go in the bedroom, he was the bottom. He liked to be filled in the butt. He thrived off of it. That's the guy Abdul Ghani is trying to learn from. And look at the other guy, man. Look how hard he's holding him. He's like, like he's holding him like he's holding a gun, like an AK-47, Yeah, you have to hold him that way because, when the anus stretches, at any time, a katam, human feces, can come right out. And then they will have to worship him because that's the prophet. Here's 2 more dead terrorists of Hezbollah. And here's 2 more. And here's 2 more. You will get it in a second. And here's 2 more. And here's 2 more. And of course, we have their senior leader. This is the senior leader. The senior leader of Hezbollah of Lebanon. We have him pictured here. He's sitting down by the Mediterranean Sea. He's eating his breakfast with money paid from Islamic Republic of Iran. Stolen money from the citizens of Iran so that this guy can make his stomach fatter and fatter. But look behind him. In Iran, women who show their hair like this woman did, like that woman does, they get killed. You all remember Mahsa Amini and the many that came after? They got killed because they showed a tiny bit of hair. But this guy in Lebanon gets to sit and enjoy watching beautiful women eat his fruits in the morning. But his time came, and Israel did the world a favor and sent him to the grave. That was just 12 recent pictures. I mean, the pictures are endless. If I show you a picture, we'll be here all night. But we're going to see who's brave and who's not brave. We have lots of brave people now. We got to show you. Come on. I mean, it's not 1, 2, or 3. You know, we got to show you. You got to see it. Here's the next video for you. Let me invite you in to our share screen. And that one. Bring up the other. Now Zoom wants to give us problems. I mean, first it was Word document, now Zoom. It's one of those several days. I mean, they're both crashing, left, right, and center. Here we go. In this video that you will have in a second, we'll be looking at the German Shepherd dog of the soldiers of Israel. Let's see who's more brave. Who has the bigger cojones? It's Hamas terrorist versus German Shepherd soldier. Let's see if the German Shepherd, if this good boy over here, if he is braver or if it's the Hamas terrorist. Gave him a warning. You come out or I'm going to kill you. Well, will the dog give up? No, the dog's not going to give up. He just started. So the dog wins. Okay. Let's go to the next video. Let's go to the next video. For those of you who are members of my Telegram page, those who are not, you're missing out. Those who are members of my Telegram page, you saw several weeks ago, I put the video. The Hamas are now training a new brigade of terrorists. This new brigade of terrorists, they are people that are told the explosives will be placed inside your anus. In order to do that, you have to pull down your pants so that Hamas commanders can go to town on your anus in a sexual manner so they can widen the gap so that later on we can fit the explosive in Those of you who are not on my Telegram, why are you not on my Telegram? Click on the Linktree link under the program, and then you will find me on all social media, and you can take advantage of seeing stuff I can't show you here. So now, this gentleman that you see on your screen smoking a cigarette, this fine Israeli soldier, arrested 2 of those. And he calls them the whores. You'll see. Here we go.
עם ישראל חי, חברים. וזה רק ההתחלה. אתה מבין? הם שרמוטה.
You know why he calls them Sharmuta? Because when they went to arrest them, they caught them in the act. Oh, yeah. Israeli soldiers are really wearing the diapers. I mean, you all saw the diapers, man. Wow. I'm going to show you diapers in a second. Because, you know, Abdul Ghani asked for diapers. We're going to show diapers. You know, Americans in the West, they have a good saying. They say the customer's always right. Abdul Ghani's the customer. I know he understands English and Persian, so he can see it in both languages. So he can get enough, like he doesn't get enough of the Yemeni slogan. We don't get enough of this too. Look at this. You're going to have it in a second. Pop up on your screen. Everyone who watches this program, if you like what you see, click and subscribe to this channel, because you're going to lose if you don't subscribe. We need to get people to awaken. The only way we can do that is by making the bots work for us. The only way to make the bots work for us is by subscribing, by liking the program, by leaving a comment so that the bots can advertise it for us. Let's look at this video. This is how the Israelis arrest the Palestinian, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and the rest of the terrorists. And then it is the female Israeli soldiers that put these people inside the little buses and the vans and send them back to Israel to go to prison. So it's a burn on them because they get to be arrested by a woman while they are completely naked, just like what they were doing to the farmers of the kibbutz on October 7th. Oh yeah, Abdul Ghani, did you see who's wearing the diaper? Huh? Did you see? Did you see who became the hostage? Who's the diaper wearer? Let's go to the next video for you. You the people, you have to see. Soon you will have it on your screen. I will drink some water while we wait. Let's see who's got more cojones. The Hamas terrorist man or the IDF female soldier? I mean, one female soldier can take a whole city. Let me give you a background story to this. When the humanitarian aid comes in, okay, humanitarian aid from, as Biden would say, he talked to the president of Mexico. And he told the president of Mexico, al-Sisi, to let the aid into Gaza because he's the one who got it to go into Gaza. The aid went to Gaza. In reality, it's Egypt. Egypt, you have President al-Sisi, not Mexico, Biden. But anyway, the trucks come in with the humanitarian aid so people can eat food, They don't die of hunger. So when the food comes in, ladies and gentlemen, Hamas comes out of their holes, pulls out their AK-47 on the Palestinians to shoot them. Go and search on X, you will find it. So now Israeli soldiers have to take the time out of their busy schedule to stand there and wait for these aids to come in so that they can make sure that the people can get some to keep Hamas away. And they sent one of their people in civilian clothing. They thought if he comes and he yells and calls the poor girl a whore, sharmuta, then she will run away, and then they can come in there and take all the humanitarian aid and take it back in the holes like the rats and cockroaches that they are, and shoot Palestinians, so-called Palestinians. So we have to have a female soldier stand there and make sure there is order so that people can get some food. And even then, she went and took on him, pushed him out of that area, and got him away from the people. But she knows she has to guard those people, so she can't go ahead and do anything else to the guy, because that's what they want. They want her to take on him, and then they come from the other side. But she was too smart for them. She was smart, brave, and more powerful than all of them put together. Total shame for so-called terrorists who want to wipe Israel off the map. And of course, when the Israeli female soldiers end up winning and arresting all of these terrorist Hamas people and put them in their vans to be sent to prison in Israel, the women soldiers of Israel, they like to celebrate. They celebrate by dancing. They celebrate in front of these men who are in their panties, wearing their adult diapers, as Abdul Ghani told you all. So Abdul Ghani, watch the dance and eat your heart out. Your people are getting it handed to them. The Palestinian terrorists are getting it handed to them. Let's see some handing to them. Did you see that, Abdul Ghani? According to the terrorists living in Dearborn, Michigan, those are the enemies of United States, those girls. Apparently, they're real enemies of United States. I mean, did you see how they were burning the American flag? Or is only that found in Islamic countries? Huh? American people. America, listen to me. Vote Donald Trump. You get that man back into office. You don't do that, you're walking right into World War III. Do not listen to idiots, useful idiots like Tucker Carlson. He's only here to destroy MAGA. He wants to demoralize you because he knows if he demoralizes you now by voting time, you won't come out to vote. He wants to create a rift. He wants to make it like MAGA is supporters of Vladimir Putin. It's time for you to stop him. It's time for you to put an end to people like that. Phase them out. Don't listen to them. Report people like Abdul Ghani. Watch these people who call themselves Muslims. You don't know which one at what time can do what. They all believe in the same Quran. They have to follow that Quran. If they don't, their neck is on the line to be cut. When their population gets high, you'll see them turn into terrorists like that. You got to stop them. Monitor them. Because they will try to do something to you in this country when a world war starts. Push pressure on your senators, your government officials to cut ties with Islamic Republic of Iran. That country needs a complete regime change. We have King Reza Pahlavi who can step in until we can have proper voting for the type of government that the Iranian people want to be under. Iranian people are friends of United States. The government is the enemy of both Iranian people and the people of United States. Stop the money laundering that Iran does through these little mosques of theirs all throughout your country. Stop them. Don't fall for the communist ideology, which is hand in hand with Islam today. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. They want to destroy United States. And they're using Americans to take on Americans. They don't like any of you. They want all of you out. They want to kill you unless you submit to their religion. At which point, they can take whatever they want from you. And the minute you raise your voice, they'll charge you with a fake crime of you going to war against God. And therefore, you need to be taken out. With that being said, I leave you in the hands of Jesus. Tomorrow we'll be back with 2 more programs, one in Persian, one in English. The next part of Musa al-Kazim, the sadistic serial killer. Until then, I leave you in the hands of Jesus. Don't forget, if you like our programs, click on the subscribe button, like, share, comment on the